Mm.
Hi, folks. Good morning, everyone. So today we arrived at the end of our workshop. So today is the last session, 12th one, and you are welcome here. And link of this live session you can share with your friends so that they will join, and we will have have an interactive session today about um, your what you are going to do in the next round. So we will wait 2 to 4 minutes to make your friends join. You can share the link and let them join. Till then, um, you can get ready with your questions if you have any. Good morning, Abhiyashin. So there are some consistent name I see. I've seen most of my sessions. Good morning, Jagrati. Good morning, Nataraj. Hi, Madhuri. Uh, um, so I do want to know how you felt, or how you made yourself comfortable with this engine throughout the session. So if you are comfortable right now with the engine, that is with success for me, because that is what I wanted to do. Not you know um, you can have your time with the engine for more, and in future you always can dig more, and you can come up with gold from a game engine. But my job was to introduce you with the game engine, so that if you're comfortable and if you feel like you can work with it, you can work future also. Thanks, Abhishek. So I think I got to know some of you personally when we had a chat in Slack channel, or in the private also. So some of you are very enthusiastic. I always appreciate that. Being in school, um, if you talk about privileges, you have the privilege to um, get yourself around with these kind of workshops, and thanks to practically to make this interface between a teacher or a trainer unity, or a game developer trainer, to you, and that's a great pleasure to be with you. So I think I can give you some heads up, or what we have already learned, or how was the pipeline throughout the session. mm, I will take it to the next slide. Okay, so here we see the game production pipeline, and I think if you observe, these are the things we have covered. So we talked about storyboarding, okay, and I asked you, you had a sketch, and you can post that too while you are posting your social media posts with the photos of game and videos. And like storyboard had visual sketch and documents. You already know about that. So document, I always prioritize document because um, mm, if we start developing something, okay, so I will take the reference of your small school projects. Okay, so suppose you are building a water tank for your science exhibition or something. So if you are not clear what you are going to build, you will end up with something weird. Okay, so first of all, you may end up with something which is more grateful, but you always have to be clear about, fundamentally clear about what you are trying to do, or how you're trying to achieve this. So if you don't document those things, you in the midpoint you'll lose your path. So it's always important to maintain documentation. So visual storyboard is one kind of documentation. And after that, in game development, we 3D art is important, like 3D modeling. So in our throughout the workshop, we haven't done any 3D modeling because 3D modeling is a bigger career path of for the game development, for the animation, and and other like, and the bigger sets as well. So we already have seen that movies like Bahubali and fan like Marvel movies, so they use 3D art a lot, okay, to blend their real world and virtual world. And they make most of the sci-fi movies are like blended of your 3D art and your real world. Okay, so 3D modeling is important, and with the animation as well. So we did some animation inside Unity, where we have seen that how with the help of keyframe we we make one object moving or animating for a certain period of time. Okay, then environment design. And I don't think we have done any environment design by ourselves, other than we already had an area, and we added our buildings and all sort of environmental props in the in the level itself. So we call it as a level design, and we already know about lighting. Okay, so for storyboard, then from the storyboard we will determine that what are the 3D model we need to accomplish our goal or complete the development. And those 3D model will animate those, and we, for those 3D art, according to that 3D art or a storyboard, we will design our environment. Then interaction with the UI, you have seen that, and the camera. Then mechanics, like you have changed the time for the racing game, or audio, those sort of things. So one thing I forgot to add over here is audio. So audio is very important. If you don't have audio in the game, you won't feel like you're playing something. The feedback is very much needed. So that suppose if you're playing a fighting game, or a, or a game, or a dungeon scape, dungeon run, or anything like that, so you can feel that there, suppose and some friendly characters are coming from the front or back, you may end up killing them if you don't have audio feedback. Okay, so audio is important for it makes more interactive, from a user perspective about the game. Then player movement, health. So if you are targeting some action, racing genres, so health is needed. So health is some of the, like, it's a challenge for you to maintain your health to survive the game till the end. And some of the game it may not be needed, like in our go-kart rush game, it's a time based game, so within 1 minute or two you have to finish the race. So if you finish it, you are done, or otherwise you may end up losing. Then platform deployment, we have seen that how we can build our game for Windows platform and Android platform. And the developed package is very intuitive, and it will be capable of playing in the mobile platforms also. So I already have shown you how you can make an APK. So if you are missing that, you can go back and you can always check the previous one. So we will try to make a complete watch list kind of thing for all the 1 to 12 sessions. So you always can check what you're missing. Then for the entire workshop, if you every one of you over here, you have done something. Okay, so even if you don't do anything, the project that we worked on, those are readily playable. You can always take video screen records or snapshots of your game, and you can post it on the social media with the tagging practically. So we will grab some good projects or good look and feel game with good look and feel, and you will receive your surprise gifts or prize from us. So do follow practically on Twitter and Instagram, like practically page on Facebook, and YouTube. Subscribe the YouTube channel to be here. So whenever you make an announcement, or if you take interest or learning more about game development, I will try to bring up a simpler engine, maybe for your convenience, to without involving yourself into more logic oriented, how you can focus on design thinking and you can come up with a simulation or game. So you can, so winners will be announced at 30th of June, and you will receive your prize before July 31st. So your experience points also will be generated, and you can redeem those from Practically app. If you're a student of Practically, and all of you, please download Practically app and try all the free sessions you can if you have an opportunity to take. Okay, so I'll take some of the comments or from chat. Okay, thanks for joining in, everyone. Aviation, you're creating a car game. Okay, that's very great. Good for you, Aviation. Please So I feel that game development is a kind of a hobby that we it's a playing game is a kind of entertainment, and developing game is a kind of hobby I take personally. So if you think that this is a hobby, then apart from your learning hours or regular study hours, you can always learn more about this. Take screenshots, take screen records. Like we can create multiple posts in your social handles, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can post multiple times, and each time you can tag our practically Twitter handle or Facebook page or Instagram handle, and you can always post with the hashtags, so that if we search with that hashtag, and that will yeah, we will get your creations. So some of the hashtag examples you will get from the description. You can use those all of the social media platforms. um, so if you have any questions, you can post and we can discuss on that. So if you have further more interest on any particular idea of game development, you can do it. So as I told you earlier, game development is not it's not a um, it's not a industry of only one field. So the art is involved, like 2D art, 3D art, that is involved. Then programming is one of the significant part for game development. So I myself as a programmer, I know I know how to work with each of these pipeline or each of these tasks. So it's like a station. If station of trains, you see. So a train starts from the storyboard, then the second station is 3D art, third station is environment design, then player, then mechanics, then interaction, then it will end up arriving at platform deployment. So it's so in each station you will be adding something inside that train, or you will board something inside the train. So at the time it will arrive at the platform deployment, it will have all the things it needed to make a full-fledged experience of a game. 2D 2D and 3D games are different, and there are some of the games 2.5D as well. And 2D games are mostly we divide them as a raster or vector. So if you played games like Victor, so those games are synthetic, and those vector games are much more mathematical than raster graphics. So talking about complexity of development or complexity of playing, it's based on your design, how you feature your game, how you have if you have multiple or complex achievements to make inside the game, and that will make your game complex in development also. So there is nothing we can define as easy or complex until and unless you have the end output or a prototype. You have to first visualize that this is my game, and this is my game I want to develop in 2D, and these are the achievements a player can make from the game. or to make their interest to come back and play the game. So it based on that you can define whether your game is easy or hard. So some of the board games are like Ludo is a board game, and chess is also a board game. So we know which is complex one. So Ludo is much more involving and much more complex. You have to think before you make a move. Okay, you have to think multiple steps before steps of previous steps, and the what are the steps you want to make at the going forward based on your opponent's move. So it's much more intellectual, and Ludo is enjoyable board game but not at the same level as chess. So based on that you can think that there is no easy and complex. So 2.5D is a blended version, like you will be able to play the game. You will be playing the game in 2D mode. Okay, so there are layers, like if you can see my hands. Okay, so suppose this is one layer and this is another layer, so there is a gap between those. So when you are playing from your end, you will there is a gap you will feel. So those are 3D models over there, but you will be playing the game as 2D, like two directional movement. Okay, you can jump. So you can jump and you can move left or right. So there are some of the games like Ori and the Blind Forest. So that game is one of the favorite game of mine. So there is a 2.5D game you can play or you can check. So that's from Microsoft Studio. It developed in Unity. So going on, I want to give you some quick tips and tricks about Unity. If you mess up with the engine, how you can go back to the previous view or previous ID look of it. Okay, I'll just done my video for a while and I'll open Unity, and like in this game or in this interface, it's like hierarchy is there. It's console, project, inspector, project settings. And if you think like this is not the ideal view for your interface, or you want to make it customized, like you want to see what you are doing at the scene with the player. Okay, so what we can do is we can take out the game window from there, just click and hold it, and you can move it to this point or this point or this point. Okay, anywhere you want, or you can keep it as side by side. So if you keep it side by side, you develop something here and you will get to see the output over here. Okay, at the same time. So I prefer to keep it over here, so it's small. But if I so this is a camera, if I try to move it with the from here, if you change anything like this player, okay, you see this is following everything, the whatever you see with the camera in the game view, you will see in this view as well. And let me control that. Okay, then with that, so if it is like here for you, most of you, if you want to maximize while you are playing the game, you click on maximize on play. So if it is, if it is true, or if you set it activated while playing the game, it will make your screen, it will take the full screen of the engine. So just so now you see it started with a full screen. Okay, so most of you, if you want to take screenshots or anything, you can do it like this, or you already know how to build. So if you go the file, build settings, you build for Android or PC, Mac, Linux standalone. So you take a build and play the game, and you can take screenshots from there also. Okay, so while playing, so if I'm playing, so if I'm playing, so if I click on tab, you can take screenshots from there. So whatever you are wherever you have saved or save the build, the screenshots will be saved there. Okay, so like if I take a screenshot, so a screenshot is there, you see. There should be okay, so yeah, so here you see this screenshot. Okay, so this is a screenshot I took, like that. And if you think that the game window is no more here, okay, how you can get the game window? So if you closed game window by accidentally, or if you close the hierarchy window, okay, you can lock, you can close tab. Okay, so this project tab you can close or open or in the console as well, or inspector. So if you don't think that this is the ideal look for your user interface, you can always customize it. Okay, like this. So all the tabs we have over here are movable. So if you see any floating tabs as well, like this is a floating tab right now. Okay, you can, if you want, you can stick it in these tab module, or you can stick it in here as well. And the layout, you can customize layout. So this is customized one for me. I can save the layout. Okay, so my preference, so this is now my preference. So if you want to, if you have closed some of the tabs by accidentally, there are two ways of getting that. Is you can go to window and go to general. In the general, you have scene, game, inspector, hierarchy, project, console. So anything you want, you can if you click over here, it will be there. Like I closed the game window, a tab, I can click on game, and the game window should be there. Okay. Yeah, so there is one way of doing this, and another way is like you click over here and you click on default. Okay, so it will bring up the default layout for your IDE. Okay, so these are some of the common tips and tricks if you mess up with the engine, how you can get back to the ideal position or ideal layout of it. Okay, so any questions do you have? mm, yeah, this is the last session of this workshop, gaming with Unity. You can change the game location also. Yeah, Kalanji, Among Us is from it's developed in Unity. Mm, okay, to change the game location in the Windows, there is no big deal of how you can do it. It's easy. It's just moving your files and folders. Like in my system, I have saved my project in documents and Unity projects. So what you have to do is, so suppose if I want to move this entire project, first of all I have to close it. Okay, I have to close Unity entirely, and then I can make it cut or copy, and I can move it to, you can move it to your position. And if you move the project from its previous position, you in the Unity hub, you will get errors like the project not found sort of errors. Okay, and you have to add the project manually. You click on add, and wherever you have saved your project, you go there, you click on the parent. Okay, so if you click on the parent path of it or folder of it, and you click on open, that will be open for you. So if you think that you have saved your project in a disk or drive of where you have lower memory, you can always change the path, and you can always work from there. uh, okay, so I actually wrote the name. So game name is Ori and the Blind Forest. So there are other games also. You can search the internet, and you can see what are the 2.5D games we have. So some of the 2D games also, it has very cool parallax effect. It makes the game look and feel as 3D or 2.5D, where it's a complete 2D game. So some of the games are there. Mm, so I don't think you have any specific question. I am not getting any questions on the chat. So I think with that we can wrap up the sessions quickly. Mm, so it's been a while we are connected, and I want to talk about my journey in the game development. So I've completed my 10th from a regular school, and after 10th I went to diploma with computer science. Then after diploma I completed my graduation with a computer science. Then I started teaching Unity as my career, and um, started developing VR virtual reality projects for clients, from in my previous organization. Then I've joined practically, and now I'm working in practically. So in my time, the game development is a it's not a popular career path. So in your time also, if you're at the graduation, and if you in some point you have to choose your career path. So if you if your family or your decision makers, mostly your parents, or any elder, if you have, who are the decision makers for you, yeah, if you try to change the career path, you have to make them understand that this is what you want to do for your entire lifetime. So for me at that time, it was very hard, because the market is not that open at the time. Maybe it was open, but there are very few people who were talking about it. So when I opened my opinion in my family that I want to choose game development as a career path, so it's a game development is a path, where everyone knows that we enjoyed playing game. We see a lot of game in the market, but nobody talks about the developer of it. So now the internet is available for you. um, you have privileges for more technology, with the more technologies, and you always can research about things before you make a decision very early. Okay, so if you are from class 6, 8, 10, okay, it doesn't matter, you have access to the information, and you always can check and prepare for it. So I've seen some of the some of the kids in the class 7, 7 year, 10-year kids. I met them personally. They are very enthusiastic about development and learning complex things. They end up learning with Python, and more of the other programming languages as well. So I will show you some of my profile things. Okay, so this is me. I think you know this honorable person. So he was a former chief minister of Andhra Pradesh. um, so I we my team, okay, this is me and this is my team, Debashish and Sandeep. We participated at India level gaming hackathon um, by Unity, APITA, and UNESCO, and we were runner up at that hackathon. And I'm a regular presenter at Unite India every year. So Unite India 18, 19, you can see the footages if you search at the YouTube. So like Unite Berlin, Unite Paris. So like that, Unity holds a annual session, and India as well. So for the pandemic 2020 and 2021, it's a virtual it's a virtual convention. So um, other I was at Unite India 2018 and 2019. I presented my ideas and my developments with in the virtual reality field of agriculture and tribal as well. So this was the honor I got from this lady. I can't recall the name, but but she is from Unity Education. So so if you see in the panel, I'm the very younger one, very younger trainer of Unity among them. Okay, so they're from a big institutes, um, and I was training in my university, um, and teaching Unity in the my university where I have studied um, before joining practically, obviously. Um, and so this is me. You can always connect me in Twitter. You can send me emails. So I respond to emails very often. So yeah, so I'm a Unity certified developer as well. So these exam and accomplishment I've done while I was in my BTech, in my graduation last year of my graduation. So you becoming a certified developer for your respective field was needed to complete your credits. So so I have to take that exam and I passed it. I think I can video. Yeah. So for this entire session of Unity's workshop, I always thank Raj and other members who have organized these entire summer workshop. So there are other topics are also in place for the workshop, like Scratch programming and Scratch programming and science, beyond book, math, okay, chess. So there are pretty interesting subjects are there. So I hope most of you took part of to your or contributed your part in those topics as well. So these are interesting topics, and we always I myself always keep an open mind for learn anything, okay, anything and everything. And I don't know what to say about, I'm really going to miss these sessions with you every alternate day, and from the 11 to 12. It is very fun to interact with you, and this channel is always open, Slack channel. We can connect, or you have any specific questions if you need. So if I can't guide you personally, I will give you internet links, how you from those links I think you will get help. So I'll try my best to help you. So in the for the developer point of view, and in the game development, the Unity particularly, we think like the world is more of creators. That is why world is beautiful, we see. So if we create more, the the world will be more beautiful for us. So I am a activist for environment, green environment movement. So I will urge you to plant trees, okay, on your rooftop. If you're in the city, if you're from the rural, very good of you. You can plant plenty of trees around your house. So for our green earth movement, so it will be it will be a huge gratitude towards your future also. Okay, so we are you already know you are running out of oxygen at any point of time, and we don't know what to do. Okay, and the time will come if you don't take a stand right now. The time will come, you'll see you can't breathe. Okay, you have to breathe with artificial oxygens, okay, created by an industrial plant or something. Okay, so so those you haven't subscribed the channel of Practically, please subscribe the channel, and if you like the video, you can like it. And I must thank Jilani, Raj, Jimmy. They are the technical, the back end of this session, and you guys have done a pretty good job. Thank you. So all the chat you see from Practically, those are from Jilani. Okay, so thank you, Jilani. I want to thank my family, some of my family members, like my sister. So she gave up his air conditioned room for me to take this session for this 1 month. So I must thank her. And I want to thank each one of you who took enthusiasm of to learn something, and you arrived here. And I hope I made each one of you at least understand how we develop game in the industries. So if you don't have any questions here, you can always connect with me in the Slack channel. So you can send me messages. I'll try to check your messages more often. So I'm not a full-time teacher in the Practically, so I'm a developer for all the cool contents you see in the app, the games, simulations, AR, VR, everything. So I contribute in that team. So for the 1 month, I was dedicated for this session, and now I have to move on to the development. So I'll try to check your chats more often. I have activated the notification. If you send any important query, I will definitely reply to you. Okay. With that, I don't have anything much to talk about. It's been pretty enjoyable with you, all of you guys, and I think Jilani, I think we can wrap up the session 10 minutes earlier. I don't think it will be a problem. Yeah, thank you. It is my pleasure that all of you have understood, or you took interest of learning to learn Unity. So I work in Unity when I was starting my career or development. And that time I preferred Unreal Engine, and now in Practically we are moving on to another engine. So engines are there, like if you know how to drive a car, you can drive Maruti, you can drive Hyundai, you can drive BMW, you can drive Mercedes. So driving, its lessons are same for each car. Okay. You may have different interface in Maruti car than Hyundai car. You may have different gear system in car variants, but the concept is always same. So Like that, if you understand one game engine and the pipeline mostly, you can work in any of the game engines. You just have to understand that to what are the important uh, modules or important entities we have to consider for a game development. So as I shown you, or we discussed about game development pipeline. So each station of the pipeline is a career path. Okay, so if end of the graduation as well. So when I used to teach at the university, so I had students from mathematics, I had student from physics. So the physics students, they try to simulate their concepts inside the game engine. So game engines in today's world, game engines are not only to develop games. You can develop experiences, you can develop simulations. So like in future, if you have if your parents or your family is like building a house, if the architecture of the house or engineer, they make a 3D model of it. Okay, you can ask them for the 3D model, and you can import that 3D model in the game engine, and you can create a pretty realistic walkthrough of it. Okay, so there are a lot more areas to work in game development, like in the automotive field as well. Suppose I'll tell you a real scenario where so suppose a car, it's coming in the market. Okay, it's not there. Okay, but you can always create a virtual walkthrough of it. So when a manufacturer makes a car, before that they they makes the design. Okay, so they have the design, the 3D design, and then they create 2D draft, and 2D layout, all these kind of technical things, tear downs, benchmarking, those kind of thing. Then the 3D model they import in the game engine to create a customer experience. So if you go early in any of the car showroom and the car is not there, they in most of the bigger cities, metro cities, the car showroom, they have virtual experience of the car. So the same virtual experience, you can experience it on web browser as well. My email address, you can note it down from here. Yeah, just note down that it's not outlook.com, it's outlook.in. Okay. Nataraj, C++, C++. So okay. So I don't know what what class you are in right now. So if you understand that there are languages based on the high end and low end. Okay, so there are 3 tiers of it. One is low, mid, and high. Okay, so the dividing with the generation of their development of the language. Okay, so we had assembly language, we had binary also. So when on Alan Turing, who developed a computer first, so he did everything, he did programmed everything with a binary, only 0 and 1. So it was one language, you can say, and the assembly language. Then comes C, then object oriented programming. So C is structural oriented programming language, and C++ is a object oriented programming language. But the advantage with the C++ is if you Okay, so it's a topic which we can I can end up talking 30 minutes. Okay, I'll try to wrap up with quickly. um, so with the device driver that we see, so in our computer we have audio, we have camera, we have video, I mean graphics card, we have display. Okay, so our microprocessor doesn't know hardware until and unless it has a device driver. So that device driver is written in C++. So C++ is a language which can access your hardware very quickly. Or if you are developing much more time related um, applications, then C++ is the best choice, whereas C sharp is a full complete object oriented programming, and you can develop both. Okay, but the C sharp we mostly use for with the MVC framework is there. So with the framework is much of web technology and desktop applications we develop in C sharp. So I hope I answered your question. Um, um, okay. Okay. So I think we arrived at the end. I haven't got your questions correctly. Maybe you correct on the game. Yeah. So I'm a programmer. Okay. So I write codes. Mm. Um, so yeah, so good news for you guys. I think the PUBG is coming back. So even though I haven't played PUBG, um, I think you will enjoy our um, Indian version of PUBG. Okay, so with that, thank you guys. Thank you. You are very nice audience, very interactive. I hope we will meet at the future as well. Okay. Thank you. Best of luck. Be safe at home, and all the best for your future. Thank you.